Hey, it's me, Toni-Lee. Thank you so much for being here and for being you. In today's video, I thought it would be fun if we sat down, talked about some of my favorite wintertime activities. I'm not originally from Maine, but this is where I live now with my soon-to-be husband. Coming up in October, we're getting married, so I'm really excited for that. We're actually looking for a home here in Maine. We want to make this our permanent resident. I'm from Virginia, so growing up in the winter time with snow was not something that I was used to till I moved up here, and now I have learned to love the winter time. I love the snow. I pray and wish for the cold weather. It's actually insane how your mind can change when you learn to adapt to new areas and new surroundings. So I made a little list of the top 5 things that I love to do when it does snow. It's actually snowing right now. I have my Let It Snow sweater on. Before I jump into the list, I do want to say some things are free, some things are pretty expensive. You can find things secondhand. And a lot of these things I've come to realize you can't do without the snow or it actually being really cold. So if you live somewhere where there's not a true winter, I'm sorry. Because I know living in Virginia, we hardly ever got snow, and it was the worst. I hated winter there because it wasn't a winter. It was just cold and wet. It never really snowed. Even though this year, it's so fun. My mom keeps calling me and she's like, it's snowing, it's snowing, it's snowing. And I'm like, that's amazing for you. Please go outside and play in the snow. There's no real rhyme or reason, but we will start with being in the snow. That I love. I love just being in the snow, going for a walk in the snow, playing in the snow, looking at the snow, watching the snow fall. It's so beautiful. There's something to be said about the snow because it's not like anything else. Obviously, you can go and look at different places in the snow and it totally changes your perspective of how that place is. I know we did a cross-country trip January 2020. We actually saw arches, desert places in Utah covered in snow, and it was so beautiful. I remember thinking to have this opportunity seems so special. I know that there are a lot of people who don't like the snow. I think if we can learn to embrace it and we can do some things on this list, you'll find joy. Another thing that I love to do when it does snow in the winter time is go sledding. Sledding is so fun. You can go sledding on an actual sled. You could take a boogie board. You can take a trash can lid. There are so many things that you can use to sled and go sledding. You just need a hill. If you hear some things hitting the window also, I'm sorry. We are getting a storm right now. Actually not a fun winter storm. It's gross and sleeting. So yay. I know around here in Maine, there aren't too many hills close to southern Maine. I'm specifically near Portland. But you can go to Fort Williams. There's a good place that you can go sledding there. South Portland High School is another good place to go sledding. They have a nice hill. This is something that is kind of controversial, and it really depends on where you live and what your season is like. But I have surfing. Specifically in Maine, the waves do not come until the winter. So unless it's this year. We haven't gotten any waves, which is really sad. Usually most of the times the winter is when we get the best surf. So last year, my Vlogmas, I surfed every day because we actually had a unbelievable, it was crazy. I actually picked the perfect, I guess, year to do that because this year we have not had any surf. I was planning on doing that again, but the forecast has been so bad. And when I say bad, flat. I couldn't even go. I would just be out there paddling, being cold. That kind of sucks, but I love surfing. The wintertime is the best time to surf, even when you have all of your mittens and your booties and everything on. The waves are the best here. I have yet really to surf anywhere in the summertime besides the Outer Banks, and even then it's not really good surf. I don't know, we're thinking about going to Hawaii for our honeymoon. We will actually get to surf in Hawaii together. That would be so fun. Being said, it is expensive to start out surfing. You have to drop $500, especially if you're going to do it in the winter, because you need a thick wetsuit, you need the booties, the mitts. Those things itself are expensive, and then you need the surfboard. You can always borrow one from a friend, but it's expensive, and I'm very grateful that Griffin got me my surfboard for my birthday. A lot of the things that I do love to do, I've asked for as gifts because I know that it is expensive and I can't really upfront that money. But if I get it as a gift, it's a great opportunity for someone to give me something that I love and that I will use, you know, over and over again. Sorry if these are like super obvious and you're like, oh my god, wow, could you like give us some inside things to do? These are obviously all outside things, and I was thinking about making a little list of my favorite indoor winter activities because being from Virginia, like I said, we didn't really get snow. So if you don't have snow, these things are kind of not relatable to you. And or if you don't live by the ocean, like you can't go surfing. So that's like something I do realize. That being said, I'm going to say skiing. Again, if you don't have snow, you can't really go skiing. But there are ski mountains in like the southern states, like Virginia and stuff. You can go. My mom actually used to live near Bryce Mountain. So you can go skiing at Bryce. I know, that's like a 4-season mountain. A lot of those southern mountains are 4 seasons. Skiing is so fun. I learned how to ski a couple years ago, thankfully, and I've been skiing every single year since because I don't want to lose my ability and I don't want to get scared. It's very easy to like catch edges when you're skiing and become scared to do something. I think that was an icicle falling. But it can be really easy to get scared. And so I just encourage you to keep doing it. There are 2 types of skiing. There's alpine and Nordic. I have only ever done alpine, which is like downhill, big ski mountains. Nordic skiing is like flat grounds. You're just like da 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 da, which I really, really, really want to try and do. There are skis like that at Goodwill that I've been trying to keep a lookout for. I'm like nervous because I don't know anything about it. And I need to do some more research before I actually like commit to buying some skis, even though they're like 15 bucks. I don't want to just buy a pair of skis and then like be stuck with them. The Nordic skiing looks really cool. There are a lot of places around Maine that you can just go and Nordic ski and you're just engulfed in these beautiful forests in the snow. It's so magical. Like I see these videos and I'm just like, not to say that doing that on alpine skis is not fun. It's just a different pace. Like you're kind of going fast. Personally, I always stay on the green ones so I can go slow and really enjoy the snow. But it's really fun to go skiing. And it's like the winter version of hiking kind of. You ride the chairlift up the mountain and then you ski down. It's like easy. There are though skins that you can buy for your skiing. So if you are into that, you don't want to ride the chairlift, you can skin up a mountain, which is also really cool. There's so many things like to the skiing world I didn't realize until I started skiing. And I think that's really cool because even though like you may not be into downhill skiing, you can do Nordic skiing. You may not be into Nordic skiing, but you can go downhill and maybe you don't like the crowd. So you do this like crazy backcountry ski. It's just crazy. I think that skiing is a really fun way to enjoy the snow. It's a great way to get like friends together and just be out in the snow together. The last thing that we will end on, something that I've really, really been loving this year specifically, is ice skating. Griffin and I have been going so much. We got skates like 2 years ago and we did not use them until this year, which is insane to think that we were just sitting on these beautiful skates and we weren't using them. To our point, like it didn't really freeze last year and that was hard. Like we couldn't go skating on ponds when they weren't frozen. That's so dangerous. There are like Thompson's Point and there are places like skating rinks that you can go to, but I really love skating in nature and that was something that we've done a lot of this year and I'm very grateful that it's been cold enough that the water has froze and that we can get out and go skating. I know there are a couple places that we haven't been to yet and so I'm hoping that by the end of this winter we can get there and we can go skate. Like the Royal River is a place in Maine that they're saying they're going to open this dam and you won't be able to skate there anymore, which would actually be really sad. So I want to go and skate there before you can't anymore. And there are just a lot of cute little places local, like this cute little Mill Creek that we go to right in South Portland. It's so cute. They have the lights up at night and it's so special to just be like skating on a pond that you normally see ducks on. It's really cool. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It gave you some inspiration to just get outside and go play. Like that's really what I love the winter for. Even though we want to stay in and we want to curl up into like our cozy ball, I think it's so important that we still get outside and we enjoy the winter while we can. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you next time.